materialistic lifestyle? A home, a car, vacation? Black women should not expect that. Gentlemen,
That's
what is
all
your
for
thoughts
the
on that?
white man. That's all for that's all for massa over there. We don't go to the big house with massa at. No subs, we don't.
Let's start with Terrence, then we'll get Smitty, then Ruthless. Omni already went, then Chris.
Yeah, I really don't have an opinion on that specific point. I couldn't identify what that materialistic lifestyle is. Maybe the desire to continually acquire more and more, the need for external to feel validated. That's what comes to mind.
Mm, okay, I can
Yeah.
understand where you're coming from. Ruthless?
Um, I echo that.
Okay, so what is, since you can identify and you echo the sentiment, what is European materialism that black women don't deserve?
I, whatever I give my woman, she deserves it. So I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about. I mean, I identify because the gifts what I share or give, they have to deserve it. I just don't give it for no reason. So whether it's a European purse, shoes, etc. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm.
I got a question for you, Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to be addressing his talking points specifically, or is it going to be doffed into other conversations? The reason why I ask is your latter question went into the deserving of the material.
Right, because that's what he said. That is his talking point. His talking point is that black women don't deserve the European lifestyle. How dare they seek that European materialistic lifestyle because they don't deserve it. That's the talking point.
Is that what he said though? And if so, I missed it. I just want to make sure I'm following along.
Replay it, baby.
I apologize.
I am.
If I missed it.
No, that's fine.
Like there is a war between black men and black women.
Mm-hmm.
I think that a lot of the dilemmas that get sent in from my listeners talk about, it's about women talking about struggling to find a man, struggling
to find what kind of man?
Find a black man.
What kind of black man?
What do you mean? What kind of black man?
What kind of black man? Struggling to find what kind of black man?
Okay, let's talk about it.
Black men all in Australia.
No. We have.
So what kind of black men are you struggling to find? Are you struggling to find a millionaire? Are you struggling to find somebody who's 6'3" with a six-pack stomach?
No.
Are you struggling to find someone who can finance a European expensive materialistic lifestyle?
No.
What kind of black man are you struggling to find?
Let's talk about the culture.
Now we know, because we went over this yesterday and we will be going back over this today. He further shored up his point by saying black women cannot, shall not, and should not want a man to mimic a European materialized lifestyle. Would you agree?
Yes. Only at the latter stages of his talking point when he's referencing what would be considered great by, I think, the collective standards, and that's achieving becoming a doctor, a lawyer, so on and so forth. But not the essence of GP or the general population.
But this is the thing, right? What he's saying, and this is what I was getting to yesterday, because context truly matters, and people did not take into account the conversation that's being had, be it because they didn't see the full clip in context. This is the full segment of them talking about black love or not. He starts off the conversation by saying, well, what type of black man are you struggling with? Now, he in his talking points did not talk about a fat black man. He didn't talk about a short black man. What he talked about was how black women should not, cannot, and will not have a man that will give them that type of lifestyle. See, so when it comes to conversational intelligence, right? We have to take into account the totality of what someone is saying. He's essentially saying that Black women is always going to find a man that's going to provide a good life for them because they don't deserve it. And it's unfortunate. I don't believe that that's true. I know plenty of Black men that are able to provide their wives with homes, with trips, and everything else. But this is what this man is saying about men in the community. So if men are echoing this sentiment instead of getting to a place where they are in competition with their counterparts, what exactly are we talking about? What are we saying for the culture and the people?
Hold on, Ruthless. Ruthless. Let Terrence answer, and then Ruthless, you answer, and then I gotta give thanks to someone that hit the cash app. So Terrence first, then Ruthless, and also Death Note. What's up, man? You in the building, dog?
Shoot, I can't say too much, man. Hey, chats in the ones.
Chats in the ones, baby.
I ain't trying to derail too soon, so I'm just gonna go ahead and fold into the background until I'm called up. You feel me?
All right. Appreciate you. All right, Terrence first, then Ruthless Truth, and then we're gonna give a thank you to the cash app.
Yeah, for full transparency, I kind of lost my train of thought, but I'm gonna attempt to reel in the psychological piece as far as ego is, the ego in man if a woman makes more. And it still boils down to value, what's actually valued, right? Because there are other attributes outside of financial stability, in which case I'm not negating its importance. But again, speaking to the value, the importance of other attributes that fall within leadership qualities. And that's not to say that a woman doesn't deserve a specific type of man, right? It's establishing priority on the financial hierarchy. I want a man at this specific financial level. Okay, cool. Understand that if you are in the upper echelons of that hierarchy, then your pool is going to be a lot smaller than if you were in GP, right? Anybody on this panel, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can get with that to a degree, right? Because for me, the goal should always be to encourage the masses of our community to get to that level. Why do we still have so many men, especially, that are sitting in the seat of poverty, that are sitting in the struggle, that have no drive or ambition to do better? But yet, and still conversely, we have a whole bunch of brothers that are in fact in poverty, sitting around and talking about the value of a high income earner. This is insanity. And then we sit there and tell women that they have to submit to these men that don't have drive to increase their lot in life.
Yeah, and I don't find it necessary for any man to dictate what a woman should want out of her life, right? That is her life. Those are the things she values. The essence, there's an essence of a woman that should never be given over to a man forever, right? No matter what anybody says. I don't care how much money you make, who you are, none of that, right? There's an essence of a man that should never be given over to a woman. And that's where we hold on to our autonomy. So if at its worst, and I'm going to wrap it back around to your question, I don't want to distract it, but I want to make sure to encompass the totality of it, hopefully, right? If at its absolute worst, we don't begin to seed in resentment, malevolence, bitterness, right? And in all saying, you were a waste of my time because I gave so much of myself and with the expectation of return and didn't get it, right? Now, I just wanted to put that out there, right? As far as the woman's standpoint, I think that when we look at society at large, specifically in our community, and that drive, I do believe we've acquired an indoctrinated mind where we're not critically thinking about situations and will be quick to respond based off like an echo, like an echo chamber, right? We'll be quick to respond based off what we've heard previously, or based on how we feel, right? And that feeling or emotion is what can be used to help sway the mind of other people. But if we're continually pumping false narratives that are only built to suit our narrative, then it just continues that circular ambulation where we're looking at the same outcome that I think you're alluding to now, where some of the leaders aren't pushing Black men to do more for themselves, take on more responsibility in pursuit of more to build within themselves. That was a long soliloquy, but I think that encompasses. Yeah.
Yes, you got it, Lotto. I want to hear from the other men. Go ahead, gentlemen.
That's Fluffy.
So
that's Fluffy.
What I took from it was he was saying is that when she said that women have a hard time, a difficult time finding men, and he asked the question, is it because of the substance such as the European lifestyle, et cetera, et cetera?
Your microphone. Your microphone is killing it. Ruthless, hold on. So, wait, Ruthless, I'm not trying to cut you off. Do me a favor, go out and come back in because you Borging terribly. It's bad. It's real bad, and I don't want us to dissuade or assume what you're saying. So just do me a favor, back out and just come back in. All right.
Yeah, if you're on Wi-Fi, go ahead and just turn off your Wi-Fi because it might be switching between, Wi-Fi and normal and all that good stuff. Just turn that off altogether.
Well, definitely, this is your first time up here, so let me get to you. What do you know? How do I want to? I stick to the question. Do you think it's hard for women to find men, or why do you think it's hard for women to find men?
I don't think it's hard for women to find men. I think honestly, it's one of those things where a lot of the men that would be the best men for a lot of women are invisible because outwardly these men aren't necessarily visually what these women would want. And that's one of the reasons why the same thing that's going on with Instagram and everything else, it's a very hard time, even with men, you know what I'm saying? We talk about the sexy women, we talk about all these different things, but we never necessarily get down to the substance of things. And so it's not hard for a lot of these women to find the men. They're just overlooking the perfect man for them because it's much easier to say, okay, well, I have these high standards. Look at Lisa Ray and everybody else. They have these high standards, but they're not getting the outcomes that they're talking about. Most times men have, and I don't want to go too long because I feel like I'm starting to go long already. Most men,
you can take your time.
Yeah, most men, when women said, hey, we want a dude who had dreads, men started having dreads. Remember, that was a thing in the 90s. Then they said, hey, we want low cut fades. Men all of a sudden had Caesars and fades and waves. Then women said, hey, we want beards again. And men, especially the Black community, we started having beards and everything else. What I'm saying is that men are making their moves based off of what women say that they want. But women typically only have eyes for the type of men that they want. So there might be somebody who's absolutely perfect for them, but it's a downside because that guy might be a gamer. He might want to play video games all day, and he might not get out to the same places that of these women and so on and so forth. So that's all I'm saying is that sometimes men and women, we overlook the people who are perfect for us because we have unrealistic standards, and that's men and women. We have unrealistic standards, and we might need to look at something more than just what's superficial to find something that's best for us.
Absolutely, I agree. Let me give me 1 second, y'all. Let me give a shout out to a brother of a certain age hitting the cash up and supporting the show. Greatly appreciate you, OG. And this is for you, OG, just for you.
This is what make it all happen right there.
That's what make it happen.
That's what make it happen.
If a man want to know how to meet a nice woman, how you meet her?
With this.
Dang, I ain't get that for my $10. Dang.
Hey, my bad. Listen, I got one for you for your $10. No,
Dang, that's
that
crazy.
was
I'm
that
gonna
one is
I'm gonna send another 5 and see if I can get something different.
okay. Yeah, the real big one. Nobody has done it yet, but somebody one of these days is gonna send me $100 on my Cash App for me to eat one of these ghost chili peppers, and y'all will probably see me get off the stream when that happens. I'm gonna eat the pepper, but I'm gonna get off the stream because that last time I ate 2 habanero peppers. Which, by the way, Sissy Vet, if you're watching, I'm afraid of you, so I apologize before you hit me up again because she got me with 2 habanero peppers. But yeah,
Mike,
huh? Mic
Mike
check
check.
again. Yep, mic check is good.
Good.
All right. Go ahead, big dog. Ruthless.
Okay, so
It wasn't
what I
Rufus'
took
turn.
Omar is
It's
well, I think for what he
it's
said,
really Christopher's turn, but I'm gonna go ahead and let Rufus get this one in.
I think what I interpreted from Mr. Omar Johnson, and I don't particularly agree with him on a lot of things, but on this one I do. That the difficulty is they're putting material possession, things without substance in these their requirements or their demands. So this is why it's difficult because the man they want, every other woman want, right? So yeah, that's why it's more difficult for them to find these guys, particularly in the way they want to find them. Meaning they want his money and economics, but they also want monogamy. They also want all these other things. So he's saying that women should look for character before, material things. That's what I took from it.
That's not. But we gonna get there. But that's not what he's saying. But we gonna get there.
Okay. All right.
Christopher, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. You want to jump in, or you good?
I was confused when he said this, and I think you guys was on Sharon's channel yesterday talking about this. And when you played this part, I was still confused, but it just really dawned on me why he said what he said about how black women don't deserve the European aesthetics. He's shaming black women to stick with black men who are not where they need to be at, quote unquote. That way, if they do go to the snow bunnies, as he calls them, the snow bunny is going to come and sweep up the black man who's at the bottom. They're going to find a way to elevate themselves. And now you got a black man with the white woman. So he wants to, and that's because according to the narratives, black women do not want to give a chance to black men who are on their way up. So well, he's strategically, and I use the word, not put strategic in air quotes, he's trying to save black women to stay with black men so that way you don't lose the black men to the white women or the European
Exactly.
infrastructure.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you for picking up on that because a lot of our brothers missed the subtext. When you have conversations, ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to really understand. There is the surface conversation, there is the subtext, and then there is the underlying psychological seeds that are being planted in your mind and in your culture. Now, I believe we've heard from everybody on this topic. Let's proceed with the video. I think on the side so everybody can see the words so we don't be confused.
In Australia versus the culture in America. I
It ain't
don't
that
think
much different.
it is quite
No, it's
different.
not.
It is.
No,
It
it's
is.
not.
It is. I think now we're
No, it's
being
not.
more influenced.
One of the
but I
biggest
think
mistakes that I find in the diaspora is we swear we're so randomly different. As probably the most traveled African in the Western Hemisphere, we're not that significantly different.
No, but we
There might be
are.
something new. No, we're not. No, we're not.
I don't think black women. Okay, let's talk about it because I'm getting dilemmas where women are talking about they're successful, they're in their careers, and they're looking for a decent guy. They're
What
not
is
asking.
decent?
They're not
Describe
asking
the
for a man
terms.
to earn triple the amount that he's
What is
earning.
decent? Give me 3 criteria for decent. I'm a psychologist. You must define the term. Give me 3 criteria for decent.
So he's emotionally intelligent.
Emotionally intelligent.
Okay.
Assuming she
No
is as
such
well.
thing.
Assuming she is
Continue.
as well. He is a provider. So he's able to, or he has a decent job. They are on
What
the same.
is a decent job?
He has
define the term.
He makes an amount that is in the same tax bracket as the. Let's just say that the
Okay.
same tax bracket,
Okay.
emotionally
Financial
intelligent.
equity.
Yes.
Okay.
I would just say he's a provider. He's nurturing, and he cares to build a family with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the question?
And the question is, women are struggling to find men that they can date.
Okay. Couple things. Number one, Black women cannot, shall not, should not expect a Black man to be able to provide them with the same type of a lifestyle that a Caucasian can provide for the white female, because the Caucasian benefits from white privilege, the Black man suffers from white racism. So we should.
Nah, he lost me.
Thank you.
Who was that said he lost them?
Thank you.
That's me.
So there was some confusion yesterday as to what Umar said. Y'all heard and saw. Cannot, shall not, should not. He didn't address anything that she said about emotional intelligence, about nurturing, about being able to provide for the family. What do y'all feel about that?
That doesn't matter for men.
I believe, if I may, anybody else was going.
No, go
you can
ahead.
go ahead.
I believe Umar is in the stage of life where he kind of needs his ideology. He needs to push what he's pushing, because for a man that wants to see Black men and Black women together in marriages, he hasn't married the mother of his children. He hasn't set the example as the leader for everybody else to follow.
Hold on,
So
before we go down. I don't mean.
What? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. I see that a lot of these things get derailed because we start to turn into the ad hominem attacks and so on and so forth, as far as talking about him as a person. As far as his message, I don't care necessarily that he didn't marry the mothers of his children and so on and so forth, but his message overall, let's dissect and dissect. Let's dissect his message and pick that apart, rather than saying, okay, well, he didn't marry the mother of his children, so he can't even talk on it. I don't think that
Okay,
leads us in
so
a good direction. So let's talk about the words that he's saying rather than what he's doing. Let's have a
okay.
intelligent conversation.
Well, we're still having an intelligent conversation. So let me ask you this. You're at dinner, right? Um, Somebody pours something into your glass, and they pour some drink for themselves. You know what I mean? Are you the type to drink it before you see them drink it?
I'm
Give
not
context.
sure.
Give
I'm not
context. I'm
sure
sorry.
what that matters. Yeah.
Yeah, give context to how that relates to Umar's message.
I'm basically saying beware of the salesman that doesn't partake in his own product. He
Yeah.
is he is pushing marriages on everybody else, and I'm saying this as a married man.
Uh-huh.
He's pushing marriage on everybody else, talking about black love this and black love that. But when it came time to marry his black queen, the woman that he or women, I don't know how many. I know he has two daughters. I don't know if they're all from the same woman. But when it came time to be the example of that, he chose not to, nor has he picked a black woman to make his queen sense.
Well, let me ask you
So
this question.
why
Go ahead.
isn't that an indictment on his message if he is not setting the example that he wishes others to follow? I'm just
In turn, do me a favor, mute it right quick. In turn, it should be. But let me ask you this. If you remove Umar and you only keep the message, can you attack the message and not the messenger?
Right, because in all actuality, the message that he just gave is the answer, right? That's the answer to your question in regards to him. It's his mindset, it's his ideology. But the young woman is telling him the parameters for a decent man, emotionally intelligent, in the same tax bracket and a nurturer. His response to that is a black woman cannot, shall not, should not expect a black man to treat them the way white men treat their women based off racism. Do you feel that racism has the power to determine how you treat your woman?
No,
No,
under no circumstance. How I treat my woman is how I treat
no.
my woman.
Okay.
I don't agree with you with that point. That I believe that was just philosophical.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? You
Well,
believe that what was philosophical?
I don't think
Your internet is terrible.
nothing to do with born again.
Yeah, you born again, bro.
Yeah. God said you tripping.
Jesus
Born again delayed.
said, by the holy blood.
I heard you, Christopher J.
Yeah, Jesus
Said,
said
peace
what
be
you're saying is
still.
bullshit.
Yeah, he got that
You're talking shit already.
1990
Okay.
dial-up internet.
Exactly. That thing still got the 3 boxes with the yellow man with the circle.
Oh, Jesus.
You've got
God
mail.
You
damn.
got man. That thing still go ding 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 ding.
You said your
Somebody
phone
pick
run
up the
on
phone and cut off your whole
AOL.com.
internet connection.
All right, my
Wait,
bad.
and
We
before we jump,
derailed.
yeah, y'all are derailing. And before we jump off out the window about tax brackets and that being shallow in classes, Duke of Bread, he said that's shallow in his classes, right? Let's look at what tax brackets actually are. So, if you are a black woman and you make $100,000, you just want somebody making at least $47,000. That is decent money. If you make $191,000, you want somebody to make $100,000. This is decent money. $243,000. I need somebody to make $191,000.
So
you ain't really talking about classism until you get to over $243,725. That's when we start getting into classes. And even here, even in this tax bracket, the same tax bracket, it's not really this difficult, but a lot of people don't really understand the gap of the tax bracket. So you're saying women are shallow for giving somebody room to make even half of her salary. That makes them shallow? I don't think so.
I don't think it's about the money thing. I think it's about the perception
Provisions.
the perception that, oh well, she's the breadwinner and I'm only going to be able to provide so much. My thing is, if that was the premise that your relationship is built on, then you're setting yourself up for failure. If you're seeking a woman who only wants you for materialistic things, that means that you're going to be giving up everything just to get half of what she can potentially offer you. The thing is, with this whole entire thing, this is why I said this is important. This discussion was so important because we're unpacking the relationship myths in the Black community. No one really cares. Well, I don't know why dudes say, I don't want my woman making more than me. Well, it's going to come a time in your life where you might end up laid off, or you might be out of a job or something like that. So if she's making more money than you, then what? Because the original argument was, I make more than her, she makes less than me, I should be able to have outside sex. Well, if it comes down to it, and she's making more than you, and she wants some outside dick, then guess what? She should be able to get outside dick, right?
I think
so. That's
talking about different people.
Now I'm talking about the original conversation with Rufus that I had early this morning. Umar is just a dumbass. I don't usually hardly dress Umar because everything that he says is just full of shit. That's just Umar. What's up, Sway?
Ain't much going on. How you doing?
Good. Do you want to add something before we continue with this clip, Sway?
Yeah, I want to do a little drive-by real quick. So to the 2-income household, 2 points. There's one going to be against and one's going to be for it. I can go forward first. If you are like men in this space, it doesn't seem like necessarily they're scared to get married. They're scared of divorce because they're always complaining about losing half their shit. Well, typically that situation where you lose half or most of your shit is when the woman is dependent on you financially. When she's not necessarily dependent on you financially, it's less likely that that'll happen, even child support and things of that nature.
Correct.
So a lot of that goes down when a woman is more financially secure. Two, the negative part about the two income household, it is a trick bag societally, because now instead of when like mortgages or insurance companies or whatever, they're taking account the payments for it, instead of it being 52 checks a year, now they're equating 104 checks a year, which is why you can see a big inflation in these areas over time when you've started to inflate the workforce to be more codependent on a two-parent household making money instead of just a one person making money. So it's a bit of a trick bag long term, but I guess to the point of what men complain about, it would solve that solution for the most part in terms of divorce.
I think
That's
something's
true.
flawed in that math that you just put forward.
What?
Baby, I'll be right back. Hold it down.
I didn't hear what you said, but I am about to dip out. I'll hear a rebuttal if someone has it real quick.
No. There's no point of a rebuttal if you're about to dip out. I was just saying there's something flawed about the math that you presented.
It could be flawed. I mean, I don't think it's going to be an exact number, but I will say that they are taking that into account, that instead of it being dependent on 52 checks in a household, there it's going to be more than that. So I think that's why those inflated.
I think it's definitely deeper, but I can't go as far as having a back and forth conversation with you on it because you said you're about to dip out, and I'd rather not start the conversation if you're about to leave. So I say blessings and
Yes, sir.
I'm saying I hope you nothing but good health, and everything else. I just won't start that conversation if you're not going to be here for the long haul.
No, that's fine. I mean, it's cool. You can even disagree if I'm not here. I don't care. I appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe.
All right,
Peace,
so I
bro.
see you on your next drive by. Okay, gentlemen, let's go ahead and dive right back on in.
Should not be, no sister should be looking for a European equivalent or an African equivalent of a European. A black man has to work twice as hard to get half as much. So although I can appreciate the financial equity, but if you are a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer as an African woman in Australia or America or the UK or Toronto or Johannesburg, looking for a black man who has financial equity with your type of career success, that's going to be difficult. You might got to tone it down a little bit. What I find as a therapist who works with couples, married, divorced, and otherwise, too often black women prioritize a man's income over his masculinity, meaning he might can provide. He's willing to help with those children. He will nurture you, look out for you, but he might not be able to put you in a Mercedes. He might not be able to help you with that $1 million mortgage. And I've seen black women turn down good men, very good men, because he didn't have the economics, but he had everything else. Sisters need to be careful not to fall into this European narrative of judging men primarily by how much they make.
You know what? White people don't do that for their own. White men don't do that for their own women and masters because white people are broke.
I got this question, right?
They are
I got a
literally, they
question.
are literally broke. They just as broke as us. If you want to go look at the majority, look who's on welfare. Look who gotta ask for more. Go to the to these what do you call this? Loan sharks or whatever. White people do that just as much as black people, if not more. So when it comes to this narrative that he's spewing, everybody damn near in the same boat. So he's really talking from a narrative that technically doesn't exist on the mass scale. So this is technically falling on deaf ears. He's just spewing um whitewashed rhetoric that had no basis.
But he has to get a paycheck.
That is true. And, no, that is also true as well.
Listen, if you go to any Baptist church out there, most of the messages that they have pander to the black woman. Why? Because if they pander to the black men, they ain't getting no bread in tithes or anything like that. Not to say that churches are just cash driven, despite my own personal opinions. I'm just saying that even when it comes to messaging and marketing, most marketing is tailored to women in general, simply because that's how you get your bread. Men want to satisfy the women, so they go ahead and capitulate to the marketing that's done towards women, and women see certain marketing and they say, hey, I want to spend my bread on that. So even when it comes to pastors or Umar or anything like that, a lot of the message, what I'm saying, if 40% of it is correct, I will definitely give him 40%. It's the other 60%. He has to secure that bag and make sure that he can keep that check coming in, so that he ain't got to work a regular job and he can still fly to these different podcasts and everything else. So I think we got to take a lot of what Umar says with a grain of salt.
Like that you
Okay,
brought up message. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
thank you. But this is the thing, right? The problem for me is this: I cannot stand when people in our community are talking about relationships and then they get to including Caucasians or Hispanics or whatever. Because what you essentially are saying is that we don't measure up to other races. And the conversation about Black love within the Black community has nothing to do with other races, especially if you're trying to push agenda to be race inclusive, right? We want to build up Black love. We want to start Black relationships. I'm not going to tell Terrence, hey, Terrence, you're a Black man and Black women ain't shit. So go get you a white woman or go get you a Spanish woman and then turn around and tell him, well, it's all about Black love. It's about the community. That's mixed messaging. That's being double-minded. Dr. Umar is teaching a double-minded message, and I don't like what he's saying, especially in this moment, because he is diminishing the men in my community. What is a European standard for materialism? Get out of here. We have a global standard for materialism. Even in Dubai, you ain't going over to Dubai and telling nobody in the United Emirates that they're not going to be able to provide their wives a European standard. People in Dubai got more money than everybody in this whole entire planet. Period.
Facts.
Facts.
So you're going to sit there and say that to the Black man, though? And then subconsciously, what this is also doing is putting a narrative and planting a seed in a Black woman's mind that even though I'm saying out of my mouth, Black power, Black culture, Black unity, Africanism, no, your men ain't shit. Well, if you want to be with a Black man, then go ahead and know you're going to have to cuddle him, baby him, and take care of him, because he's not going to stand up and be able to do what he needs to do as a man. That's unacceptable.
Let me give you some examples of core elements of European materialism, since that's what Umar wanted to bring up. It says, and I'm pretty sure that y'all can find some correlations between the European and the Western world. Wealth as a status symbol, high value items such as luxury cars, designer clothing, and exclusive real estate are often equated with success. Nations like France and Italy are known for their emphasis on haute culture and premium brands, e.g., Chanel, Gucci, all and the other. Quality over quantity. Unlike American consumerism, European materialism often emphasizes acquiring fewer but higher quality goods. Products like handmade leather goods, bespoke suits, or artisanal foods are prized. Focus on aesthetic and lifestyle. Lifestyle choices such as frequenting upscale cafes or owning properties in sought-after locations are signs of material success. Scandinavian minimalism values sleek, functional design as an aesthetic of success, i.g., IKEA and all that and the other. Luxury and exclusivity, cultural capital, real estate and heritage, environmental considerations. So when you think about American capital materialism and European materialism, y'all can see the distinct differences, right?
Yes.
Okay, so as far as what Umar is saying, what it is that is available or provision wise from the Black man in the European standard versus what is provisional from the Black man in the American standard. By that measure, Is Umar trying to say that black men are expected to give more based on that premise because of what it is that black women want as far as the European standard goes?
I don't know what Umar is saying, so we're gonna continue because
Yeah, because he
he's
confusing the hell
saying
out of me.
he ain't
I
making
got
no
a
sense.
I got a question though, real quick.
Sure.
Right, because the primary disparity that I keep seeing in these conversations is that high earning women with degrees are having problems finding a mate of equal economic stature. And my question is, what is it that the black female has done that the black male is incapable of doing?
Not a damn thing.
I don't know how that relates.
I'm
How
trying
it
to figure it out.
relates how it relates is this: if systemic racism is the plight that is holding the black man back, how is the black woman able to escape the same systemic racism?
Exactly. How is it that the woman is more under this racism context, right? How
Mhm.
is it that the black woman is able to do so much, but the black man just can't seem to be doing as much or half as much?
The usual the this is just my opinion. Today's black man is lazy. They don't want to progress. They only want to remain stagnant, and they want to be comfortable. They want to be taken care of. Today's black man, they want to be pampered and treated, and they want to be given a crown that they are not willing to work for.
I
Today's
disagree.
black Go ahead, give me how why it is that you disagree.
I think that the loudest voices, the ones that you're talking about, the ones who we put on Instagram, the ones that we put on TikTok, the ones that are on the news feeds and women are talking about, I think that those definitely fall into the category it's talking about. But most men who are about their shit and about growing and about being the best for their community and so on and so forth, they don't put themselves out there. And I can only say this because, going through and mentoring men and going through and being in certain societies and everything else and actually going out into the public, I don't see that as a majority. I see that as a vast minority. And the problem is that these very same men who are part of the ones who are saying that we want this for our women, we want this for our men, we want this for our kids, and so on and so forth, they're not vocal at all when it comes to the social media platform. But the people who speak for the black diatribe or the black community are those people who are loud and boisterous about we want a man to make six figures and be 6 feet and so on and so forth. But those are not the men who are actually in the community wanting to be the person who holds down a family, those men who want to be the ones who are doing the best about their community and about the women that they're with and about their children. I find that a majority of those men are just silent when it comes to being public, but the ones who are the debaucherous trash of our societies are the ones who are vocal on and are out there, especially the women who are talking about a lot of these men. Those are the men that they're talking about, are the ones who are just, saying that small minority. I don't think it's all black men.
You gave minority and majority. Let me ask you a question. To expound upon what you saying that those men who don't really I'm sorry, did you say not have a voice or they're just silence? Let me make sure I got that correct.
I'm saying that they don't have a voice because they're not choosing to put themselves out there. Basically, they remain silent rather than putting themselves on IG or TikTok or YouTube or anything else. A lot of them just work in their community and they hope that their views, their actions, and everything else can be just seen by their community. They don't really give a shit about what the rest of the world or the rest of the United States or the rest of their state cares about. They only care about the people who are in their local circles.
I would say that that's a societal problem because we push too much into the degenerative culture to where we embrace negativity and chaos. for those men that are in those neighborhoods who do have a voice that can really inspire and move in a positive way in their neighborhoods. They don't get enough limelight because they're not seen as successful. Because one thing that we always hear in this space is that results is what matters, right? So you can, and definitely, I'm gonna just use you as an example. You can be a local hero as far as building up your community, inspiring, motivating men, teaching them, giving them the tools that they need to succeed, teaching them ways to be better men as far as relationships, as far as fathers, sons, and all this, that, and the other. But if that's only in your local area, then that's such a small percentage. Even if, excuse me, even if it's a major win in your local space, your local space is a speck on a grand scale of the world. But until society wants to come to a Death Note and say, "Hey, Death Note, let us put you on the big screen. Let's put you on a big platform. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we need y'all to pay attention to gentlemen like this." Until we change that whole entire culture of how it is that we propagate the negative and put down the positive, that's never going to change. I agree with you. The truth is, this is just my opinion and my truth. And my truth is, if more of those men step up to drown out the guys who out here propagating the negativity of our culture, and if the outside cultures stop paying attention to our negativity within our culture, then there can be a shift change. Would you agree or disagree?
So I definitely agree that the good men and the people who believe in our cultures have to step up. I definitely agree with that. But what I'm also saying is that at the end of the day, you know, the media is portrayed in a certain way for a reason. If you Google right now, and actually they just changed it recently in the last few months, but if you used to Google 3 months ago, 4 months ago, if you had Googled, you know, the black man or the black family and so on and so forth, it typically just showed a woman and children, or it showed some kind of debaucherous scene. If you said, "Hey, a black single mom," if you put that in Google, it showed some kind of porn related stuff. And what I'm saying is that if most, even when I have a regular basic conversation, if you talk to a black person, you say, "Okay, imagine a black person." They picture something in their mind. And then now I say, "Hey, imagine a black person from the 1950s." That whole entire view of what you thought about black people changes. Now you're picturing somebody who's in a suit, who's standing upright, who's being you know, a model for their community and so on and so forth. And we need to get back to that. The problem is that we have other influences, and that's a whole other conversation. But we have other influences that are promoting the small voices within our communities rather than promoting the majority of what our community is. I don't believe that most black people are the debaucherous, you know, or dregs of society. I believe that most black people believe in the betterment of their communities and everything else. It's just the dregs that get the most attention, and we need to stop giving the attention to a lot of those dregs of society.
You're right. Yesterday, there was it yesterday or 2 days ago, baby, whichever one of those posts you was on, those panels you was on, and this might be risky. They brought up
Like 2 days ago. Yeah.
like 2 days ago. Yeah, LA Project said, "Damn, that's real." I know that's why Death Note is my guy. We can have these deep conversations. But they having a conversation. They was having a conversation about that cooking with Kaya girl, and the question was about is the culture degenerative? And the guy said that it's the young that drives the culture. And since the young man, the young black man that drives the black culture, and since the young black man is driven by his lust, especially because he thinks with the tip of his penis first, not with his brain, that girl cooking with Kaya, that's why they go to they run to her, because not only is she cooking good food, but also she's up there shaking ass and tits. Versus her to what's the young lady's name? Tabitha Brown. She has all these different
Right.
products. Tabitha Brown, right? All right.
Mm-hmm.
So the
We can
young,
argue about her cooking good food because I saw her cook a steak. I would not eat that steak in a million years. First off, I'm a connoisseur of
exactly.
good food. Listen, I've made enough money in my life. I'm not eating no trash steaks that she's been making, cooking with Kaya. But the fact that she was cooking, Listen, I promote that all day. She willing to cook for her man. Yo, that's amazing.
Oh no,
That
her quote is she said, "Bitch, this plate is I can take your man with this plate, bitch." That's what
nah,
her quote is.
not that steak she couldn't, because if I wanted that steak, I would be like, nah, you can go ahead and take that back to the kitchen, baby girl.
Listen. They told me it was busting. They said, Roy B, you going, hey? I'm like, oh, all right, she doing her little thing. She trying, God bless her. She it's good for a 23-year-old to at least attempt to cook some steak. So I ain't too much mad at it. But, God bless the children. They don't know about who Tabitha Brown is, though. So, and the point of it all is this, like, ultimately, I'm just simply tired of people trying to tell men in my community all that they cannot be. Like, I'm not going for that shit. I don't care. And if y'all not, you know what I'm saying, mentally aware of what people are saying and what they're doing, just pay attention to the framework and the setup. Sometimes you got to watch it a couple times just to catch how the conversations is going. He's literally brainwashing, and he is somebody that does have a voice in the community. So everywhere he goes, because this is the same man that's saying little boys need a school because the system is teaching them horribly in education. So you gonna teach them horribly too? Because what you're saying is they can't measure up to a European standard. So why should anybody keep donating to your school?
Correct.
I'm not donating to a school for a ninja to tell my son that he cannot overcome racism. Dr. King didn't die for that. Malcolm X didn't die for that. Fred Hampton didn't die for that. Marcus Garvey didn't die for that.
Huey P.
None of these people. Huey P. Newton didn't die for that. The Panthers didn't do time in jail for that. No, none of that. Our ancestors worked too hard for us to have civil rights to the level that we have them today. Dying in buses getting set on fire, white people supporting the cause getting busted up in their car and whatever else, just for loving niggas. For this Negro, this highfalutin Negro, to sit on social media platforms and tell black men that they ain't shit and they ain't never gonna be shit, and that black women either gonna get down or we gonna lay down. Except the fact that this Negro that you lay it with ain't gonna do nothing. So all y'all is Pookies and Ray Rays because it's ridiculous for you to want somebody in your same tax bracket. That's an unrealistic expectation. No, not today, not tomorrow, not as long as I have breath in my body. And not just because I am a mother to a black son, but because I am the daughter of a black father. We ain't gonna do that.
I don't want a woman in my tax bracket.
Why not? Don't talk about your tax bracket. But why don't you want a woman in your tax bracket?
But typically, they're terrible women. I'm just being real. Typically, they're terrible women.
Really?
Yeah.
So you want her over or under your tax bracket?
Way under.
Oh damn.
Yeah, you know what? I can respect
that. I'm not mad at him. He said way under.
Nah, we don't do dependents. You gotta carry your weight around here. We don't do dependents.
Well, so
listen.
Here's the thing. I believe in 50-50, but my idea of 50-50 is different than most men. Most men think about 50-50 and they only think about financial. What I'm saying is that if I have to wake up, and if I normally wake up at 9:00 a.m. for a meeting and so on and so forth, and all of a sudden something happened at my business or so on and so forth, I had to get up at 7 a.m., 5 a.m., whatever the case may be. I didn't get a chance to make my coffee. You know, I make coffee every single morning. Your 50-50 is you realize that I woke up at 5 a.m. and I didn't have my coffee. I just started busting it out and working. Shit, at 6 a.m. when you woke up and you was like, damn, he got up early. He didn't make his coffee. I'm gonna make his coffee for him. I'm gonna make him some eggs. I'm gonna make him some bacon. And so that way he don't gotta stop working. I'll just go ahead and give him that. That's the 50-50.
You talking that good shit. Nah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's the 50-50. Most men, when they talking 50-50, listen, the weak men are talking about 50-50 financially. And I get it that 50-50 financially in some households is a thing. But 50-50 is not necessarily always financial. A man is willing to give 100% financially if he's able to get 100% of the intangibles. And the problem is that people don't understand that there's a balance for men between the tangibles and the intangibles. And if you want to play those games and say, hey, listen, you know what I'm saying, 50-50, when a man mentions it, he might not mean financial all the time. Sometimes I mean, hey, listen, if I'm doing all the work, I'm paying all the bills, and you have not a single bill that you have to worry about, I want you to just make it easier for me to pay the bills that I'm paying for you. So if it means I gotta get up 2 hours early for my job, by all means, make my fucking coffee. Make me a sandwich, because I'm not thinking about eating, I'm thinking about grinding. Make me a sandwich to make sure that I still have the sustenance that I need to continue and carry on. That is 50-50, is because you're doing things that are intangible because they're not financial. So let's stop playing the game. A lot of people, when they keep saying 50-50 this and 50-50 that, everybody always dials down to just money. Money makes no sense. Yes, I was dirt poor. I grew up in the pork and beans in Miami. I understand what it means to be poor. And now I'm at a position where I'm far removed from being that. And so what I'm saying is that a lot of people, when it comes to relationships, they don't understand, and they think that making a sandwich means that you're a slave, or making a sandwich means that, you know, we're looking down upon you. It's not looking down upon you. It's saying, hey, if I'm doing all this for you, what am I getting in return? What are you doing? Because you say, you know what, you respect me as a man, you respect the work that I do, you respect the benefit that I have, and so on and so forth, and you want to just do a little bit of something to make sure that, hey, listen, I feel good about what I'm doing for you. So 50-50 is not always financial or anything else. And a lot of women see that, and a lot of men see that. And a lot of the conversations on YouTube were talking about that. 50-50 is a BS conversation because nobody talks about the nuance. I want us to get back to talking about the nuance and talking about what it means to be in a true and actual relationship. And I'm willing to fight anybody on it.
Yeah, and I think
No, you're right about that. You
Man,
actually said
you don't know how
100%.
much. That shit just got me. Go ahead, Terrence.
Yeah, I think some of this rhetoric is dangerous, and I'm going to attempt to take what was just said and spin it back into this video. But that's literally saying, in order for me to be a man, I need you to be a woman, right? That's saying I'm providing X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to stop providing X, Y, and Z if you don't do whatever it is that you desire as a man, right? Rather than, okay, this is who I am as an individual. That is who you are as an individual. We're going to combine our strengths to build whatever it is that's to be built. But to say, I'm bringing this, you're going to do that, that's where that controlling narrative comes into play, right? That's where you begin to strip down the man from that man position and say, in order for me to be the man that I am, I'm going to need you to be the woman that I need you to be, right? So that in itself implies, now that we're in a relationship, here are a certain level of expectations, which implies a change, rather than this is what it's going to be through the gate, not through a dictatorship, not through tyrannical, I have the money and I'm in control. No. That's saying you provide based on who you are, because that's where you get your self-gratification, right? Mm-hmm. I provide the things that I provide because I get an internal reward from giving of whatever it is I decide to give of myself. Anything outside of that is sacrifice. So then if I'm sacrificing of myself for this other individual, that in itself is saying two things. One, I fear losing you. And two, I'm expecting you to provide whatever it is. And if you don't, that's when the bitterness, resentment, oh, I wasted my time dealing with you comes into play, when all of that could be squabbled all together, right? Now, in terms of Dr. Umar's point in that standard, when we begin looking at certain sectors of the community, and I want to keep it in terms of capitalism, because I believe he used something equity, financial equity, right?
Financial equity, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Financial equity. our culture in particular, right? Our culture in particular experienced something that has never been experienced by anybody on this earth. Only our culture, right? The Black culture in America has experienced that. There's no one else on the face of this planet has experienced that. So when I had initially brought up the compassion piece, the compassion comes into place when it's saying, damn, I have the capacity to identify all of these different things that have taken place to lead that sector to its current state, right? In the I don't even want to call it lower levels, right? But in the lower level of the capitalistic structure, right? We see more drug dealers, we see more pimping, we see more hoeing, we see more robbing, we see more killing, right? And we see all of these negative, quote unquote, attributes that are displaying themselves. And that's because people are in a constant state of survival, a need to make the money, because the same opportunities that are available may not be known, right? And I think a counter to that would be the internet. But that just because we have the internet doesn't change the value system that's been instituted through parents and the generations that have followed, right? And that value system, I think, speaks to what Death Note was saying, where we gain what's the word I'm looking for? Like that feel good. When we come online, we look entertainment, right? We look for entertainment, and we find entertainment in the negative attributes rather than entertainment in, oh wow, his ability to articulate himself, or that man's writing a book, or that man came out of the gutter, introduced the first police accountability law, and the first cop was just indicted for murder.
Okay, so let me
coming out of these sectors, right?
Mhm.
So I think it's dangerous for the things that are being said, especially when we begin talking about men and women in particular, and what's required for one providing for the other. If a woman's in a position to deal with a man, right, who might not be making as much money, and she and herself is okay with that because he comes with all of these different traits and attributes, what's wrong with it?
So here's the thing, right? You said a lot, and you were talking a lot of good stuff, but I did take some notes. So a woman should always be a woman. What Death Note is speaking to is a viable and accurate fact. If a man is taking care of a woman should be able to rest in her femininity and live in her soft girl era. Like, it's not about control. If your man is providing for you, he's going out there and he's busting his ass every single day to make sure that you don't have to go out and get your hands dirty and your family is good. It should not be the issue to cook for him a meal. It should not be the issue to make sure that he is okay and he's good. Only weak-minded women look at that as control, because ultimately it's investing into your prize. If a man is a bum now and he's sitting in the house and he's making a third of your income and he's demanding you do all of this, but you got to do all of this before you go out the door to provide the money to make sure that y'all look good, now that's when it becomes controlling. Because what are you investing in? You taking away from energy that you need to put into yourself because you're catering to his ego to make him feel like the man, because he's not operating in his highest energy as a performer. Now, the way the world is set up, unfortunately, there are a little bit of economic imbalances in relationship, which is why you have more so of a partnership instead of, these relationships where we are fully vetting each other, which takes it back to what I said in the beginning about women and men waiting 6 months to a year to make sure that the person that you choose to be with is a person that you want to be with, because these things are symbiotic, right? Say, for instance, with me and Sel. If me and Sel are in a house together, even though we're not in the same house together, I don't give a damn what I'm doing. when it's about the time that he has to get up to go to his next location, I'm like, what you doing? You up? You know what I'm saying? You doing this, doing that, the third. If it's time right before I gotta go do something, he will blow my phone up because sometimes I sleep through my alarm. He makes sure to blow my phone up so that I wake up. So I gotta do what it is that I gotta do. That's called taking care of and looking out for each other. But people, thank you, but people are not developing that in these relationships. They're falling into bed with each other and then they're mining out what their core principles are, what their values are. This is when people have to change who they are and it becomes a function of control instead of the normal ebb and flow of a relationship. Like you seem like a pretty decent guy. I'm sure if you're taking care of a woman, number one, the way that you speak, I think it's a low probability that you're just falling into bed with people. So you are investigating a woman's mind before you even deal with that woman. The things that are important to you, you're not going to sleep with a woman unless you know that she already measures up for the things that's important to you. This is what we need to be teaching in our community. And we don't even need to look at any more of Umar's video because Umar is just, he's a simpleton at the end of the day. What we need to be talking about in our community is why we not building relationships and dealing with each other in the ways that benefit each other, because each relationship is an individual first person POV game.
Because too many people. Go ahead. I thought you was done.
No, that's okay. I can't tell you what it is that's going to work for you. And of course, it sounds irresponsible to you, Mr. Alignment, because you strike me as the type of man that will put your eggplant in any sauce that's available to you. Be careful. Some of them sauces is extra spicy. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
The truth of the matter is,
go ahead, Ray.
The truth of the matter is that people are too focused on instant gratification instead of delayed gratification. Those simple things, that which is what matters the most, because everyone wants to take in instead of give out. So one of the biggest things that I've always talked about, I seen this video, fellas. I don't know if y'all seen this video. This guy, he comes in from work probably 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning every night. His wife, she take care of the kids and all this, that, and the other, put the kids to bed. She goes to sleep. She's up. By the time he's walking in the door, she's already got dinner, maybe 3/4 of the way done. And it's 2 o'clock in the morning. She makes sure that his drink is there. She got his fresh clothes there. He can go take a bath. By the time he get out the bath, she already got food there, ready to go. She give him a kiss and go to sleep. When he wake up in the morning, she already got his coffee there. Nah. A lot of people may hear me say that and say, oh, well, she's doing a lot for him, but he's also doing a lot for her, because when she need a break from the kids, he takes the kids. When she needs that emotional connection, when she need that stability, when she just need that uplifting motivation or that inspiration, that's what he does for her. This reciprocity thing is easy. I don't get where a lot of people have lost this art. Loving is not a lost art form. People just choose not to do it, because we want to take more in than we are willing to give out. So the concept that Defino was talking about the whole sandwich thing, if I wake up, I'm not sandwich, the coffee. If I got to wake up earlier than what I got to wake up, and I'm sitting there at my computer trying to hurry up and knock this shit out, and she comes in with that coffee, and she comes in with that plate of eggs and bacon or something like that, give me a kiss and then walk out the room, I'm shocked. It's just like, God damn, she loved me. Now I'm in my head like, shit, I want to show her how much I love her too. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about me just going out spending money. It's about me actually doing something for her that shows her my love genuinely, not just in a monetarily way. So when people say, oh, well, I'm tired of hearing these type of conversations, that's because you're not used to hearing people actually loving on each other genuinely without wanting something in return. You see what I'm saying? So definitely, I don't know what time you get home, but I'm gonna just say, let's say you get home at 9:30 something at night, and tonight you get home a little bit later than what you usually get home, and wifey is at the door. She's like, oh, hey baby, I know you got home a little bit late, but it's all right though. How was your day? When most men don't get that genuine question, how was your day? Most men get that, hey, so what you doing? Some dudes don't even get that. How was your day? Tell me about your day. You want a cold beer? Oh, your food is ready.
I'm kind of different.
I know, but yeah. But my thing is, my thing is this: it hits different when it's genuine. When it's not something, when she's not showing you love just to get something out of you, it hits different. I don't, of course,
Like
it's
that steak
it's the
potato.
gratitude. It's the gratitude, and that's honestly
it gets deeper than that, bro. I'm telling you. For me,
most
this is just me.
most men will move the world for you. I'm not even talking about moving mountains. I'm not talking about moving any kind of like hills and everything valley. We're not
Yeah.
talking about that. We're talking about most men will move the world for you if you just have gratitude for the work that they're doing for you. If you
Mhm.
can understand all that a man is sacrificing for you,
Shit.
and honestly, most men aren't even looking for a whole lot. If you just come into the room after this man has sacrificed everything that he believes in for you, and you just come in and you just say, you know what? I I see you and I see the work that you did, and I just
Preach.
want to thank you. Honestly, if you just say those things to a man,
Mhm.
there's one or two things that are gonna happen. Either A, he's gonna be like, oh shit, you know what? Thank you. That's what he's gonna tell you. He's gonna say, hey, thank you. I don't know why you're saying that because it's normal. But on the back end, he's gonna be like, oh shit, I'm gonna work harder. Or B, that man who's never heard it, he probably will break down and cry in
Yep.
front of you.
Yep.
And the reason being is because us as men, typically, we never get any appreciation for us just being men. And I'm not talking about every man. I'm talking about most men. Most men who are living upright. Most men who are living for their family, living for their relationships, living for the people that they care about. I'm talking about those men. I'm not talking about the Pookies and Ray Rays who are just looking to blast your guts out and move on. I'm talking about most men. Most men, even the words that I'm saying right now, most men in the chat. I'm not talking about the women who are going to be spamming the chat talking about, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the men. Most men are going to say, you know what? Damn, that dude is saying exactly what I felt in those situations, or exactly what I would want because I'm sacrificing everything in my mind and honestly, I would sacrifice everything again tomorrow. But if a woman came in and said, you know what? Thank you. Thank you for being the man that you are. Oh my God, is that a battery in our back?
It's over. You said go tackle that troll that's in the yard. Shit.
So there ain't nothing I can do.
Hey, listen, I'm about to go flip a building.
Hold on a second, because somebody said something in the chat, and I want to address it.
Oh.
Vanna Ray 007 says, this is why blacks are behind and the last to know. All y'all talk about is the failing black love. Move on. Black love is dead. Talk about helping black women navigate in this world, being single. All right.
Or you dumb.
So, no. They're good. They're good. So here's the thing. Why should black people be told everything we talk about is an issue? I'm going to assume you're non-black, right? Here's the thing. Other societies have the benefit of having a family unit because nobody actually, took that away from them, tore apart their homes. What a lot of people don't understand, even when it comes down to politics, what fuels politics, in fact, is the family structure. So, without a successful and stable family structure, there is no growth in the black community. Now, they want you, black women, to continue to be single so they can continue to push forth the effort of eugenics. See, if you're single and then you're out here being taught to take in and glorify sexuality and be having, sex hither and yon, having babies, what are you going to do? You're going to delete your whole entire legacy because there is no family structure for you to raise your children in the household. What does that do? It destabilizes the African American community. This is why we have not had growth as a populace in the past however many years, because guess what? It's about strong black women, empower black women, be single black woman, free your mind, and the rest will follow black women. Go ahead, open up your legs to every Tom, Dick, and Harry black women. Go ahead and delete all your babies, black women, and then going ahead further too and disenfranchise your black men, because at the end of the day, women as a whole, unless you're part of the Dora Milaje, are not taking up your spears. You ain't taking up your swords. You ain't putting on no shield. You ain't going out there conquering no territories and no land, because why? You're not capable to go ahead and fight no men, because most of you black women is 5'5" and under 200 pounds or over 300 at the same height. Either way you look at it, you're not equipped to be a warrior. So therefore, they want to consistently separate the black woman from the black man, so that the black man doesn't understand the necessity for him to be a warrior and fight and champion for his community. See, they want the black woman to think that she can stand alone without her black man. So we don't have their ears, our black men's ears, to whisper to them influence and power, to make sure they are educated and encouraged to go out there into politics, so that they stay behind the 8 ball, chasing behind pussy of bitches that don't want to be captured, of bitches that don't want to have a family, because everybody wants to be a single black woman. And then you raising your kids and teaching your kids that same mindset and ideology, which means we'll never be together as a couple, as a culture, as a family, as a cohesive unit. And eventually we'll just wipe ourselves on the way on out, because go ahead and mix with other races and dilute the race that you are, so that you become way less than, and that you no longer exist. Carry on, my sister. You're right. We shouldn't talk about black love. No, maybe what we should do is get back to the actual foundations of black love and how to build up an actual community, because it always starts with home. Or maybe you're not aware that in 1968, when they assassinated Dr. King and Malcolm X, what they did was deployed a whole bunch of military tactics and government strategies to tear apart the black family, because it was the black family unit and the black family dollars that actually funded the civil rights movement. Let me be quiet though, because I'm just stupid.
You asked for that, just to let you know. Oh man, oh man, oh man.
Yeah.
So hey, how you doing? How to pick up?
Doing good. I think it's important to start with unpacking some of the traumas we have within ourselves, right? And that's for everybody, not even necessarily just the black community, but everybody in general. Because once we're able to identify all of these different turmoils or things that are deep seated, where we unconsciously respond to a stimulus and just react, right? We then develop the capacity to empathize with one another, where it's okay, I understand we're having a disagreement of sorts, but I also identify what you're going through. So if I'm able to identify what you're going through and I put myself in those shoes, then we're able to move this conversation forward with a solution in mind, rather than attacking one another, belittling up, we're winning, and the other person snaps back, and this person's going down now, this person, I'm winning. So the conversations steer from being correct to solution based, right? And not even just solution based, but really being a human, you know what I'm saying? Like being a human being. Everybody on this chat, everybody in the panel, right? We all went through turmoil. We've all went through hardships, and it especially with the rise and the catalyst of social media, where we display our highlight reels, right? It's like a breeding ground for competition. Oh, I can do better. I can do better here. I can do better here. Whereas if we talked about those deep-seated things, right, we relate on such a deeper level and begin healing each other's trauma. So that love begins to grow within one another, rather than the competition to defeat one another, right? Even the sharing of ideas or a disagreement, that's not dehumanizing one another. That's a challenging of mindset, right? And when we begin challenging mindset, when we begin challenging perspectives, then we can grow, because of the dehumanization or the tearing down of the next person doesn't occur.
Well, here's the thing, and this is what I said before, right? We promote we promote negativity. Even that comment that Raw had addressed, we promote negativity so much because in the whole, and y'all can tell me if I'm wrong on this. Y'all have more experience on this than I do, but as a whole, in my opinion, the black community truly does not want any conclusionary positives for itself because most people just want to bitch, moan, and complain. They truly don't want to come to the forefront and say, you know what, I can be a better father, I could be a better mother, I could be a better son, I could be a better this and that. No, we'd rather just say, I don't know what the hell y'all talking about, because at the end of the day, y'all niggas don't want to be with us black women. No, it's black men who want, to Death Note's point, it's black men who want to be with black women. It's black men who actually are doing the things that need to be done within the community. They just don't get the recognition. To Chris's point, and even to your point, Terrence, everyone wants to have a better stakehold when it comes to a black community, but the community itself has to want it for itself, because if the community don't want it, then we can sit here and fight tooth and nail for the next 100 years, but as long as they keep on propagating the bullshit, what is we doing? I'm not saying that we not willing to fight the good fight, but it can't just be us. It can't just be us 500 to 1,000 men. It can't be. It got to be more. And then as far as when it comes to relationships, it can't just be, what is you gonna do for me? Hell, at the end of the day, how about instead of what is you gonna do for me, this is what I have to offer you. I don't want to hear about the what do you bring to the table conversation. That shit dead. Because most people can't even afford the goddamn table to even be at that part of the conversation. Truth of the matter is, we don't want to love no more. And it's expressed every day on a mass level. People they don't want change, they don't want positivity. They just want fuck shit. And I could be wrong, but y'all got it.
Yeah,
The
we
thing
need to have a
about
we need to
thing
have the
about the
same. Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
Crystal first, then Death Note. Go ahead.
I said the thing about the black community is they do want the positives. The problem is they don't have no example of positive to pattern after. They don't know what it looks like because it's not at home. Don't worry about what's going on outside, because outside is anything and everything. What's going on in the foundation, the household. You don't. Some people don't see a good marriage because they don't come from one. Some people don't see a loving relationship. They don't come from one, and they don't see these positive intricacies that is supposed to make a home. And once you get home solidified, then the community can grow, because the offsprings within the home are going to take said teaching and go start their own homes and build up their own family based off of what they seen, what was taught to them growing up. So one thing I will say is, do get the black community to where people want it to be, or they uh, desire for it to be. You need to start realizing, one, what you have, and B, what you're going to need moving forward to plug in these holes that's in this sinking ship that we're in.
Go ahead, Death Note. You got it.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't even got a whole lot because he kind of spoke on it. But what I'm saying is that I think that a lot of us are looking for excuses as to why we can't be as successful as what we are, whether it be man, woman, or anything else. And at the end of the day, if we want to be successful as black men, black women, or anything else, if you want to be successful, there are certain traits and certain things that you have to deal with. If you're looking for a certain kind of woman, then you have to have those principles. And this is why I kind of sort of had a problem with the sex conversation that we were having before, because once you're 80 years old, sex don't really matter as much. And drew that out for YouTube instead of saying it, the right way. But anyways, I don't think it matters as much. You know what I'm saying? Once you get 80 years old, I think that the context of who the person is more important. So if that is what is going to be more important going into your 60s, 70s, 80s, you're not trying to get your back blown out 6 times a day, 6 times a week, or whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter as much. You need to look more at the intangibles as men and women. And so I don't care if a dude only has a 2-incher. If he does every single thing that you need in a relationship to make you happy, and the only thing that you have as far as dissatisfaction is the game in the bedroom, then maybe y'all need to explore other things. Explore toys. Explore, conolingus, fellatio, all that good stuff. Explore those things. Because at the end of the day, once you turn 80, 90 years old, when you're on your bedside and he wants to be there until your last days, your last minutes, your last breaths, the last thing that is on his mind is whether or not he can get in your guts. I'm just being real. So let's make relationships
Preach.
more than just the sexual aspect. Can we do that?
We
We most
can do
definitely can. And that, hold on one second, baby. We most definitely can. And that's the message that I was trying to get across to Ruthless if he was trying to hear, but he wasn't. And most guys in the manosphere space, they're not who think like that. Let me go ahead and disassociate. Who think like that. They don't want to hear like that it doesn't have to always be about sex because at some point in time, y'all are going to get older. So if you're going to say, oh, well, sex is the most important, no, it's not. It's not the most important because if you cannot establish a true loving relationship with that person, you're not building anything. Y'all just going off of lust.
Yeah, well, I just came back up because when Defno had said what he said, about men, and he had explained certain things, and I just wanted to provide him context what I was saying down in the chat. So, bro, I don't know how long you.
Go ahead,
I
y'all
don't
got it,
know.
man. Y'all got it.
Yeah, I don't know how long you've been on YouTube. I've been on here for about 5 years now, and the first thing I came in when I heard about this manosphere, and then I saw FNF, and I saw Kevin Samuels, and this red pill bull jive. Um, I immediately denounced it, and I said that it has nothing to do with manhood, even though that was the umbrella that they was trying to wrap it in. And see, what I didn't understand was a lot of them niggas, they don't have no father, bro. They ain't have no father, nor oh yeah, excuse me. They didn't have no father, nor were they raised by any men that actually move as men, as the men that they claim that they're trying to become. Nor does the ideologies match up with their words, their behaviors, or the way they treat women, let alone their mothers, their own daughters, their aunts, their sisters. So when I heard you said that majority, or I think the word you used was most, I used to believe that. I came on here believing that, that there was going to be a more subset of men with my mindset, the way I carry things, the way I approach relationships, how I treat my woman. And then I found out it was severely inverted. A conscious man, a man that actually is commitment. I use two articles of identification that I call it's an LLC and the AIR. It stands for love, loyalty, and commitment. And the AIR stands for accountability, integrity, responsibility. I threw that up against every man to see if they at least have those little 6 principles that I think all men should have. And every time it came around, they was lacking majority of them, if not all. And then the thing was this: they was trying to place blame on the women for our shortcomings of creating baby mothers, for our shortcomings of creating broken homes, for our shortcomings of not being there for our children. And then the daughters that are growing up into these women, we want to come on here and complain about them, but we are the ones promoting. We're the ones
guiding. We the ones cultivating. They are the men's daughters that we are growing up to hate. How Tupac was saying, a race of babies that hate the ladies. Well, guess what? We are the ones too. We are the men. And we keep coming on here saying, "Oh yeah, most of us are good men. Most of us ain't paying bills, bro. Majority of us ain't willing to die for a woman. The first thing you show a woman how you love her, you marry her, bro. It
I
has
disagree.
always been that. It has always been that. You marry that. I understand you disagree. That's why I came up here. You got to show me that majority of men are out here marrying women, being committed, being there for their children, being there for their sons, raising them in a moral standard, raising them in their likeness, making sure they have some type of foundation or some type of faith in something that's greater than them, so they can show what submission actually looks like. Y'all want submission from a woman, but what are y'all submitted to? That's what I'm saying. There's a whole bunch of hypocrisy running around here where a lot of men are saying, "Oh, I want this, I want that for a woman," but you're not exemplifying the very thing that you're asking for, nor are you all that. We have to start being honest about who we are, get to the drawing board, clean up our own shit in our own backyard, actually become men that cultivate the world, that protect the world, that provide provision, that are there for our women, that are die for them, that are going to go out here and work 2 and 3 jobs. Y'all ain't out here working 2 and 3 jobs. Y'all ain't out here work willing to get in these factories. If you making $15 an hour, make up that other 15. Go get another $15 hour job. She shouldn't even have to touch the daggone ground unless she wants to. But y'all not doing that. Y'all want the woman to go out there and slave just as hard as you, but then you want her to be something that you aren't being. And that's the part that's unfair to them, and they just not taking it. Majority of men aren't loyal. Majority of men don't have integrity. And it's shown on this motherfucker every day. Every single day that majority of men don't have these things. I'm not saying you. I'm saying the men that you say you are, majority of the males aren't. And it has been proven.
Well,
Well,
I
this
can
is the
say,
thing. Oh, go ahead, Death
uh,
Note. No, go ahead,
I
Death
was gonna
Note.
say, I don't know what fucked up reality. Excuse my language. Sorry. I'm gonna try to keep it clean as best as I can because I don't want to get the channel demonetized or anything like that. So I don't know what reality you're coming from and saying the things that you're saying because a majority of black men, I understand that we have this 20% or 15% of black men who are falling into certain situations who get all the women, who are able to sleep with everybody, who are able to get everybody pregnant and everybody and everything else. And we don't care about those people as much. Now, the media will tell you that we care about those people in the hood who have their literacy rates being at 5% and 30% and so on and so forth. The media would tell you that that's what the black community cares about. But most of the black community has a battle of fighting the public narrative because most black men that you face aren't what you described. Most black men that you describe that are out there aren't trying to just fuck everything that aren't trying to just deal with everything that's out there and sleep with everything that's out there. Most black men, it's really a small percentage. And I can only say this because I've been on both sides of the spectrum. Now, when I say both sides of the spectrum, so just to give a small smidget of background, I was an Abercrombie and Fitch model. I was a football player who got a full ride scholarship to the UM. I literally, physique wise, I was there. As far as looks wise, I was there. I had all that. And I understood that aspect of things. But what I'm saying is that I had a different view at that time when I was like, oh, yeah, shoot, since I have, 100% of the shots that I shoot, I can sleep with all these women. But because I can pick and choose whatever I wanted, I can pick and choose whatever I want. But I had to realize, especially as I got older and I started talking to older men and I started talking to people who were actually in the community, I started doing community work. I actually joined fraternities and started actually doing more community work as far as talking to different people and sitting at barbershops and doing political work and doing other work and so on and so forth in the communities. It came to understand that when I was in my small bubble, when I was the popular guy, I was like, yeah, 100% of the guys that I know, all of them were able to sleep with whoever they wanted to. So it didn't matter. Like women just didn't matter. But all of a sudden, when I started talking to everybody else, and when I started, getting into the trenches, I started to realize that, wait, holy hell, there's a whole new side of things that I didn't realize existed because I had privilege. And understanding the privilege that I had, I was like, well, shit, well, let me understand the other side of things. And so now that I started to understand the other side of things, I realized that right now, what you're talking about, you're still lumping a lot of men into that pretty privilege or popular privilege, but most men don't fall into that category, my friend. And so most men, especially black men, are like look at the marriage rates. And the statistics don't agree with what you're saying. If you look at
Hey,
marriage
bro, can I
statistics
go
for
back
black
and
men,
forth with him real quick?
no, hold on
Yeah, you
before
can, but let him finish.
Okay.
hold on
No,
before
I was asking Rob because I know she wanted to say something. Go ahead, bro.
yeah, I'll finish it real quick so that way you can give some get back. But what I'm saying is, even if you just look at the marriage statistics for black men, most black men marry black women. And the reason that most black men marry black women is because of the fact that they don't fall into those categories of men who are exceptional men. And the men who are exceptional men, sometimes they're corny as fuck. Look at Byron Donalds. He probably was corny as hell when he was younger, and the only person who gave him any play was a white woman. Now he's with a white woman. There are some black women who have a problem with him being with a white woman, but that's the only one who gave him play and was his ride or die in high school, middle school, college, whatever. I don't know when they met. All I'm saying is that you can't put that bandage on all black men because I think that all black men, well, a majority of black men are great, but we do so much as far as promoting the dregs of our society, even with black women. We do so much in promoting the dregs of our society, the 20%, 30% of those black women who are on Instagram and OnlyFans and everything else, that we overlook a lot of the women who are great women, who are really good, and we just can't find them because we don't run in the same situations. Maybe it's because of my financial bracket, my tax bracket, that I see things differently. But I'm willing and I'm open to debate in the conversation. And at that point, as Smitty would normally say in this point, my mic is muted. I landed my plane.
All right.
Yeah.
Raw, go
So,
ahead first. Wait, hold on. Raw, go ahead first, and then go ahead, Truth. But wait,
all right.
before you
Okay.
go, hold on, really quick, baby. How much time we got?
Like 30 minutes, little
Okay.
over.
All right, cool. First you, baby,
So
and then Truth.
yeah, I'm gonna go and then I'm gonna take a break because I have another appearance tonight. But here's the thing of it all. Y'all need to remember the story of the Trojan horse. The Trojan horse was deposited on the city of Troy as an offering
Mhm.
to the goddess Athena, right?
Yep.
Women have always been utilized as the tool that conquerors use to wage war. Black women need to understand the way the media and the world at large right now is directing you. It's a war on black men. Now, not to say that black men are not accountable for the role that they are playing in this war, because they're acquiescing by far and wide to their conquerors. But these people convincing you to engage in free love, you notice how they did that in the 60s? They ain't doing that so much no more. It was Woodstocks, it was hippy dippy, bye bye love. And then they stopped that shit because they saw the devastating after effects on their community, but they still encouraged it in ours. See, free love turned into Woodstock, turned into Coachella, turned into Freaknik, turned into All-Star Weekend, turned into y'all killing your babies. Let's just call it what it is. And now it turns into marriage rates and numbers are going up in every other community except for ours. Because now we have a war with each other because they've relegated you to the sexually fetishized toys that they brought you over here to be. Or maybe y'all forgot during slavery that black women were bed wenches. Black men were bucks, right? They were bucks, they were getting buck broken. And then they were also breeders. Y'all think because they took the shackles off your body that they didn't firmly implant them on your brain.
Preach.
Y'all, a lot of y'all are in mental slavery. And these conversations are convoluted because y'all are finding justification and excuses to continue to participate in slave behavior. And then you wonder why there is no growth. I'm gonna be quiet though, because I'm about to take a break, baby. You got this. Hold it down, POP.
Of course, I got it, baby. I'm gonna hold it down. Hey, the link is posted. Y'all more than welcome. Before you go, baby, love you. The link is posted. Y'all more than welcome to. Y'all more than welcome to come up. We about to keep this thing going. Death Note and Truth has a little back and forth coming up, and then I see Mr. Alignment. Is that Mr. Alignment? I see that skis.
Yeah, that's Mr. Alignment. Oh, hold on a second. If it's a war on black men, it's their fault. They need to change their image by the masses, as does black women. Exactly. And guess what we cannot do?
What's that?
We can't change our image by the masses if we have all this infighting.
Preach.
Stop fighting with these men. I'm talking to the ladies. Matter of fact, let me put y'all behind me because this message is for my ladies. Stop fighting these Negroes. They don't want you, then leave them alone. Stop casting your pearls before swine. Go ahead and get you somebody that want to be with you. Somebody tell you that you for recreational use, then why the hell would you let them recreationally use you?
Preach.
See, keep your legs closed, keep your mind sharp. Because these niggas don't love you. These men all want submission because they want you to be their whore. They don't want you to be their wife. They don't want you to be the mother of their children. They don't want you to be their lover. They don't want to take care of any of the baggage that comes with you. There are only special men that do so. And unfortunately, men are led by women, whether they want women to be the leaders or not. A man will do what it takes to get and keep a woman. But so many women are so easily attainable that they're not encouraging men to do more. This is why when I encourage women to keep your legs closed, they'll sit there and say, oh, Robbie, that's hilarious because these women will have sex. Y'all got roses, rabbits, dildos, battery operated boyfriends, USB boyfriends, and some more shit. Y'all better go on ahead and get your toys popping off and don't give these men no vagina. Don't give these men no vagina. No vagina without monogamy. Period. Stand on business. Bye, y'all. See you in a little while. Later.
Bye, baby. Love you.
I got.
And baby, hold on real quick. Oh, and baby, make sure she take care of that so we can take care of her. Okay. Make sure she do that. I know you can still hear me, so make sure you do that for her so we can make sure she good. All right. Before Mr. Alignment goes, first, bro. Yeah, I got you, the nigga. First Truth, and then Death Note, because Death Note was saying some. I think what Death Note was saying kind of went over your head just a little bit, but I'm gonna let it play out because I want to see where it goes.
So, like he gave his background, cool. So let me explain why I'm coming from the avenue I'm coming from. I'm from Baltimore. You talk about being a 4-star athlete. I played for Dunbar.
I'm glad you said it the right way because my team is the Baltimore Ravens, aka the Baltimore Ravens. You don't say the
You
T.
are
You said it
losing
the right way. The
next. You are losing.
Baltimore.
You are losing
Hey,
next Wednesday.
Yeah.
You are losing
hey,
I'm,
next
hey,
Wednesday. Let's
hey,
get.
hey, hey, Superman Black. Listen, if I gotta
See,
put a cash
a
app
whole bunch
to
of
remove you, I
a
will
whole
remove
bunch of
you.
niggas on the panel, and one
We're not
sports team
playing
get
about
mentioned.
Baltimore. You feel me? We're
I
not
mean,
playing about
do they play? Do they got the
Baltimore
Lions? Do
Buccaneers.
Baltimore got the
My
Lions
bad. My
coming
bad.
up?
My
No,
bad.
no,
My
no,
bad.
no,
My
no,
bad.
no,
My
no.
bad.
Oh,
Hold
My
okay,
on,
bad.
okay,
hold
My
on,
okay.
bad.
hold
My
on,
bad.
hold
Because
My
on,
y'all
bad.
don't want none of the Lions.
hold on,
Y'all don't want none of the Lions,
hold on,
right?
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Stop saying Baltimore. It's Baltimore. You know
Okay,
what I'm
my
saying?
bad.
We don't
that's
call
right.
it
Baltimore don't want none of the Lions. We're gonna
Baltimore.
pluck
You
that
feel me?
Raven.
That's
You
right.
understand me?
It's Baltimore. So
Yeah.
so so Superman, if you got a problem with him and you gonna say we're gonna
The
lose,
Texans
we're
ain't
gonna
got
lose.
nothing. The
By all
Ravens
means,
ain't
I'll
got
do a
nothing.
cash
I
app
don't know where
to
Terrence is from.
remove
I don't know where
you from
Mr. Alignment is from. But the Texans ain't got nothing, and the Ravens ain't got nothing. Y'all ain't messing with the Lions.
Yeah.
that.
Nah, there
Listen,
we go.
I'm from Baltimore, Murderland, but I don't rep the
I'm from
Ravens.
Delaware.
You don't
Ravens
really
is
right?
Ravens. Yeah, Ravens is horrible, G. Ravens is horrible.
All right,
But
get back to your
that's
conversation.
that.
Get back to your
Yeah, that's
conversation.
You ain't
that.
you know what?
So
What's the cash app? I need to
so as
start
far as
Dollar sign WHILHEL.
I need to get him out of here. Hold on. I need to get you out of here.
so
Baltimore?
yeah, when it
You
comes
a
to
hater.
being on both sides of the coin, bro, I have two different baby mothers, and two children, bro.
And you
When it
talk
comes
about
to
Baltimore? Come
yeah,
on.
when it comes to the ladies, I had flocks of them. As far as being 5-star or 4-star athlete in high school and so on and so forth, I played point guard and quarterback for my school, both of my senior and my junior year. So and I was in the street. So when it came to women, it was just endless. Still to this day, I get my way with whatever I want. If I want a woman, I can get her. I have never not got what I wanted.
You're a liar because you
The
can't even say
thing-
Baltimore, right? You say
I
Baltimore
say
instead of
Baltimore. Like I say Baltimore. I say to do who. I'm Baltimore through and through,
Baltimore.
kid.
Yeah, you
And
say
it's a
that, but
village born and
that's
raised,
all right.
loud in Marlboro, short.
You know what?
So
You know
yeah,
what? I'm gonna put you on timeout for 10 minutes. Hold on, let me send this cash out.
yeah.
Hold
But
on,
yeah,
I got you on timeout for 10 minutes.
being on both sides of the coin, bro. When you come from the streets, you live a
Hold on, hold
certain
on,
different
hold
type
on,
of
hold on, hold on.
lifestyle.
Before you say anything else,
Huh?
Will, what you saw?
Oh,
You on
all right.
timeout for 10 minutes.
Hold on.
Baltimore.
Yeah. So
Hey,
when you come from both sides of
truth. Hey,
No,
truth.
huh?
no, 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 no. Nah, Baltimore.
Hey, truth. I got you.
What?
Better scramble like an egg before you get folded like an omelet, nigga.
That brother's floating in the air. How could his hands do this? Oh, someone get him out the air.
Shout out of Baltimore. My man's is on his way back with the Ravens. Truth, you got 10 minutes. See you back in 10 minutes.
Hey, hey, I stand on it. You can't go disrespect my team. If you want to come back in, you can go ahead and pay the $10
Pay the
to get
$10
back in. But you ain't gonna disrespect my team. I stand on it. Baltimore. Damn.
All right, Mr. Alignment, you up here. What's up, G?
Yeah, y'all can hear me, man.
Yeah, we can
Yeah, we
hear
can.
you now. Come
Look,
on with
man,
it.
I heard a lot of crazy things today, man, but I'm only going to attack a few.
Oh shoot, my
Well,
Uber outside.
which points you want to attack first?
Yeah, I want to attack this. Most men don't even provide for their houses. Like, come on, man. Like, we got to stop this, man. Like, what is up? It's not even a fight between black men and black women no more. It's strictly black men and black men at this point. There's nowhere in the world that y'all believe that most men that have a family is not providing for their home and their kids.
Oh, now we
It's
about to have a deep
disheartening.
conversation. You
It's,
sure
it's,
you ready for this conversation?
I don't care how many stats you want to pull out from the white
No,
man
we ain't pulling
or
no stats.
whatever.
We just gonna have a
You
conversation.
can pull from your anecdotal experience and look around you and see that, yo,
Mm-hmm.
black men are really in their lives. And another thing is, black men are really with black women, bro. We are really with our women. Y'all get on YouTube and get too ingrained into these personnel on YouTube because they got mixed women. You get too.
Mm-hmm. What happened? Did anybody else just lose signal? Am I the only one that lost signal?
Nah.
Skis. Mr. Alignment. Hold on.
Yo.
Yeah, what's wrong with your signal, G?
Oh, that was me? Then I was going
Yeah,
on a
that was
whole
you.
tangent.
Yeah, you was. So the last thing you said was black men are actually involved in their kids' lives. Go.
Yeah. Yeah. My thing is, hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, okay, so to go again, well, first, Death Note and Terrence, did y'all want to say something?
No, I ain't got nothing.
No, I ain't got
Okay.
nothing there right now.
All right. So the thing is, who's Borgin? Baby, is that you? Raw. Okay, that's not her. All right. So thing is, let's go by this.
Me.
Number.
Why would you say that's not me?
Well, it was you, Borgin. That's why I took you back out and I was gonna bring you back up.
Oh, okay.
Right.
No, I want Mr. Alignment. Always want to be a naysayer. Always want to talk some crazy shit. Is the white man saying this?
Well, if his signal was working correctly, Mr. Alignment, you there?
Espérate un momento.
Look at
Oh, he
Jimmy.
there because he unmuted. Look good. That's because God said you need to be
Mr.
quiet.
Alignment, go out and come back in because we gonna handle this shit.
You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
We got you good. So you just hush. You just hush. Just let God talk to you. Listen to what your boy Umar's saying about these people. Mm-hmm.
They already answered for you. They said hell to the nizzo.
Yeah. Look.
Why not though? Why do you have a problem with that? Given the atmosphere of
if I see myself with
but
this
you didn't
man,
answer the question. Let's say all those things are there. Will you financially invest in him? Be honest, my queen. They already answered for you. They said hell to the nizzo.
Yeah. Look.
Why not though? Why do you have a problem with that? Given the atmosphere of racism and economic oppression that black men suffer in Australia, why would you have a problem
what are black
investing
men
in your
subject
king?
to that women are not? We're
Say that
going
again.
through the same thing.
True, but it operates differently. The racism against black men is significantly more aggressive than the racism against black women. Now, I don't want to get into an oppression Olympics because I agree with you. We all suffer and we suffer together. But a man's primary responsibility is to be a provider. And we don't feel adequate as men when we can't provide. So your king, who you love, who you've been dating for 2 or 3 years, is saying, baby, invest in me for these 18 to 24 months. And I promise you, I will cross that finish line. You're still reluctant.
I'm
Why?
reluctant. I'm reluctant. As my husband, if we were married and something like that happened, of course, I would be open to doing that.
But would you be open to even marrying him if he was not the provider you needed him to be? He's saying, help me level up so I can become the person you want to marry. He's asking you to help him level up.
I think.
Let me tell you why you're reluctant. And I don't have a problem with your reluctance, but I want to explain something.
Okay.
And I want all my young sisters to hear me. A big difference between the snow bunny and the African queen is the snow bunny will find a black man in progress. She will find him on the job. She will find him on the university. And that snow bunny will see a black man with potential and she will invest in him. She will help him level up. And then when the sisters see him 5 years ago, 5 years later, he's a millionaire. And the sisters say, look at that sellout. He went and got a white girl. But guess what? When he was looking for a sister to help him level up, to invest in him, none of them wanted it. You know why? Too many black women want a finished product. Black women have to stay with me.
So, Mr. Alignment, black women want the finished product. The snow bunny is out here raising them up, but we both are subject to oppression. So, is it that the white woman wants to just sit there and level a nigga up, or is it because the white woman is not facing systemic oppression? I'll wait.
I can't. I don't know how this correlates to how I came into the conversation, but I'm not going to sit here and refute any of that because I don't get into the systematic oppression and the white woman. I don't care about no white people.
Okay, so what's your
on this white
gripe?
man's platform. I didn't say the white man's talking point. I said on this white man's platform. We get up here and we down each other as much as we do, but as we can see that you and Sal are highly in love. Y'all on verge of getting married. Let's talk about that. But we talk about this small number of people of men that's not taking care of their kids. I got a group of 10 dudes, and I am gonna go anecdotal. We all take care of our kids. We all got families that we take care of. About 4 of them married. Yeah, the percentage of that is low, but I don't see these dudes y'all talking about. Y'all want me to go to the hood? Y'all want
10
me to
of
go to
20
poverty?
million.
I'm not
10
in
of 20.
poverty.
Well, hold on. Here's the thing. 10 of 20 million. There's 20 million black men, just roughly, just going by that estimate in the United States. So your anecdotal small 10, even though it's
And 15
great.
million don't take care of their family, right?
Okay, but here's the thing though. Just
Come
like
on.
Death Notes, just hold on. Just like Death Notes example earlier, and Death Note, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Death Note said that the small group of men in his locale that are putting in the work, they don't get that much airtime or airplay. Is that fair to say, Death Note?
Exactamundo.
Okay, so even you and him both have the same experience that it's not enough good men being propagated to where we can say to hell with what these Negroes is doing. I'm talking about the Pookies and the Ray Rays. So it's more than enough black men that are capable. Hell, I'll even give you more. I won't just use myself. I'll say that more than a minority, but not enough to be considered a majority of black men are actually involved in their kids' lives on a day-to-day basis, not just because the courts. Hold on, wait. Not just because the courts is telling them to do so. Because even you may be a father, but if you only a father just because the court is telling you to do so, that's only because of your obligation to your responsibility of a mistake that you didn't want to be a part of. So we're not gonna dodge the conversation and not act like that it's black fathers out here who don't want these kids.
That's a fact. That's a whole nother argument. You talking about not wanting kids. I'm talking about the men that's actually here. We looking at these numbers that's made up. We looking at all this stuff, bro. I can go into poverty right now once I get off work. I'm in Baltimore right now, bro. I see a black father with 2 of his kids on the
Bro,
scooter.
first
And,
off,
and truth,
all
and
these
truth can
Baltimore
attest to
you
this.
saying it wrong. Hold on.
You about to get that 10.
You about to get
that 10, bro.
Stop playing with me. You ain't in Baltimore if you ain't saying it right.
No, so Mr. Alignment, I don't disagree
Wherever way
with
you,
you.
be more, however way you want to see it, you want to drop me to derail this.
No, it's not drop you. No, it's not drop you to the rail. The
anything.
thing is, it's not drop you to the rail. The thing is, we with you. We
So
with
be
you.
it, then
Wait,
drop
hold
me
on,
then.
Mr. Alignment.
It's
Here's
a
the
joke,
thing,
my guy.
Mr.
Relax.
Alignment. Hold on, wait. Hold on. Let him deal with his feelings. That's a him problem. Because the truth of the matter is, he's saying what we are agreeing with him with. Only because of his emotions, he's not seeing it that way. We're not saying you're wrong. So where do you get from us where we're saying that, oh, it's not enough of these niggas, it's not enough of these black males that's not doing their damn job? No, we're talking about the males that's actually stepping up and doing their damn job. What we're talking about also is these myths that surrounded the black community as far as, okay, well, you can leave. That's not a problem. We're talking about these myths as far as what these Negroes are saying in this space, to where they saying, oh, well, we only want slaves. We want multiple women. We want this and we want that. When half you motherfuckers is half cocky, you can't even keep a goddamn job, let alone even go get the motherfucker. So I'm not disagreeing with you when it comes to successful black relationships. What I'm telling you is that this culture, the culture that we live in, we propagate too much degenerative behavior. And we say that, oh, well, it's moving the culture because that's what the young want. Well, the young don't got it all. Listen, we've all been young. I've been 21. I've been 17. I know what it's like to get out there and want to slay some shit. But at 35 years old, shit look different. Bills look different. Money look different. Shit, everything look different. But we got to get away from, oh, we got to always be a part of some fuckery just so we can get some attention. Because I guarantee you this, before you hear about the news story about the father who have taken time away from his family to go out and do things for the Boys and Girls Club to make sure that they even got equipment so they can have good shit to practice with within their Boys and Girls Club, go out and volunteer at the schools for the Boys to Men program, go out here and help out in their community, clean up the community, go out here and actually be a part. I know it's not my day to get the kids, but listen, can I just get the kids? I just want to take them out. Okay, cool. Well, it's my time to get the kids. Now I'm about to love on them unconditionally. I don't need a court to tell me that, oh, it's my time to get them. To hell with my time to get them. I want them all the time. But you know what? I understand. So where's the disconnect as between what we talking about and what you talking about? Get out your feelings.
Excuse me, Mr. G.
Yeah.
I need you to come pick up these kids.
Bet. What you mean? Like, what we doing? I don't understand. Like, I don't get where this. Oh, it's not enough of us. We know it's not enough of us. You know how I know we not enough of us? Because when I look at channels like mine, or even men like me who say, "Hey man, listen, I ain't gotta always participate in the fuck shit. I don't have to. I know how to. Don't get me wrong. If need be, I can get down in some fuck shit. But on some real shit, man, I'm more so making sure my community good, making sure my kids good. Hell, making sure my kids' mothers is good, making sure my woman good, making sure my family good. But let me get out here and say something. Hold up, because he in the back. Let me get out here. Let me get out here and say something like, yeah, you know, as a black man, shit. When it comes to submitting to your wife, bro, that's part of the game. If you say you're a Christian, oh, you a simp. So I'm a simp because I love my wife. Nah, that's backwards as hell. Too many people, men included, put down good men who actually are trying to step up to be a shining example of what it means to be a good black man. But just because I'm not here saying fuck these hoes and we want these bitches on the side, that doesn't make me a good man. There's a disconnect somewhere either in what we saying or what you hearing.
Hold on. I had a point to say.
Go ahead.
So with what you're putting up from Shaxty Bum, there are more women, but more men are homeless. Do you realize that most places have a program, which is crazy? Let's think about it. It's called Women, Infants, and Children. Not men.
Facts.
Women, Infants, and Children. What does that stand for? WIC. And so all these women are getting all these assistance because they're doing all these things that have bad decisions and everything else, and they get supported because of the bad decisions that they make. They get the help, they get the housing, they get everything. But men don't get the same assistance that women do. Period.
Hell no, they don't.
Because even when it comes to war, even when if we want to talk about Ukraine, right? Even in Ukraine, when the shit kicked off, guess what? They let the women out, they let the children out, but the men, they said, "Hey, no, you got to stay back." Why? Because the men were supposed to fight for their country,
Right?
And so it's the same thing. Is that men are always a second class citizen to women, infants,
So,
and children.
I'm sorry, Death Note. I really like you, so I don't want to. I don't want to have to do it, but I can't let you get away with that one, because at the end of the day, when the Titanic sank, what did the people on the ship say? Save the women and the children first.
Women and children first.
Because it's not.
This is crazy.
Wait, no, but it's not because y'all are second class citizens. It's because y'all are the providers and the protectors. A society is supposed to protect its women and its children, because at the end of the day, this is how nations are conquered. And a society cannot be furthered along without the women and the children.
Yes.
One man, as we are often told, as us women are often told, one man, one of you, can impregnate all of us.
True.
So you have to save the women, because if all your other fellow countrymen die, it only takes one of you to start a brand new country.
You're right. You ready for my whole take on that?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Okay. So my whole take on that is this: is that whole thing of women and children should survive is because the only way we can to carry on our bloodlines and everything else is through the women and the children that we've already created. And going forth, that's how we move forward and carry on our bloodlines. That is what it is. So I 100% agree with women and children being able to survive and so on and so forth. Because as a man, if I die, I literally die. There's nothing else for me. But if I carry on my legacy through the woman that I am able to impregnate, think about Genghis Khan. One of the reasons he was able to spread so far and deal with so many people and so many religions and so many people having his genetic makeup is because he understood that the way he was able to live internally is through the women that bore his children. So
Let
I
me
agree with you.
okay. let me
Great.
let
I'm
me
Go
I'm
ahead.
let
glad we agree.
This
yeah.
is
All right. Go
I had
ahead.
another no, I had another point, but I'm just
Oh,
gonna
I'm
let you
sorry.
go.
Go
Let
ahead.
you
My
go.
bad.
No, I'll let you go.
No, well, Mr. Alignment, Mr. That's you. You back on the board, right?
Yeah, I'm right here, but
Go
they
ahead.
empty my truck, so go ahead real quick.
Okay, cool. But no, so the thing is, right? Even when it came to, let me just attack this. Well, not attack, but let me just address this right quick. It was about men's shelters. There it is. All right, so there are male shelters. I used to work, and I used to work for the company, the premier company of helping the homeless here in Detroit, Michigan. It's called Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries. And yes, men have 3535 3rd Street. They also got the two buildings right there on Woodward and Davis, and I can't remember the name at the moment.
Wait a minute.
Uh,
I have to run for real. I love you. 10
love you.
minutes.
10 minutes. Did you get her to do that?
Yeah, that's done. That's done.
Okay, cool. All right, because we're gonna do that for her to
All
look
right.
out for her. She look out for us. I'm gonna look out for her.
Yes, yes. And it was nice talking to all of you. Bye bye, guys.
Love you, baby.
Love you
Later
too.
on.
All right, so let me set this up for her. She didn't do it. Let me refresh. But yeah, I used to work in the homeless shelter, and it's definitely homeless shelters out there for men. But I'll be honest with you, where I worked there for almost 10 years, and when it came to those women's shelters, especially if they had kids, they was able to get help. They was able to get assistance and benefits faster, especially if they had children. You had Cass Community Services, Genesis 1, 2, and 3. You had Harbor House or Lighthouse, whatever one. I can't remember what it was called. But if you was a woman with children, oh yeah, you was getting turned around right there within a week or two. If you was a man, then you was on transitional housing list for at least, I don't know what, 3 months. You see what I'm saying? And even still, you still have to pay rent. So it's not a fallacy that women get assistance faster, but we still have to account for, if these women are homeless and with children, what happened to the man? And when you hear their story, or more times than 10, when we would encounter the man that she got impregnated by, and we do his case file, it come to find out that he got her pregnant and he left. So men also get benefits faster with kids. So this is true, Shiesty, but I'm telling you how, and I hate that this is true, but men with children, they get assistance faster than single men.
That's a lie.
Well, hold on. Well, I'm about to break it down for you. Men with children get assistance faster than single men. Women get faster assistance than men, and then men with children takes priority over all of them. But that's just what I wanted to speak to at that part. Khan upheld women and gave high positions of power to women. Don't negate that. Yeah, Genghis Khan did a lot. What was it? What they say, 3% of the Earth population he took out or some shit like that, something like that. I don't know, but I'm trying to understand where we at now, because I am in confuzzled, because this conversation was where we was driving towards the betterment of relationships for a community, and how it is that the single parent household is not any good for anybody, especially when it comes to the progression for our community. So how we get here?
That's a real good question. I couldn't even tell you. But
Yeah,
let's just get back to it though.
right.
Regarding
Go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Chris. No, go ahead,
But
Chris. Yeah, you've been quiet this whole time.
um as far as relationships, really relationships starts with communication, anyways, and we just haven't been talking to each other or hearing the other side more often. We're so focused on what we see, not knowing the world is bigger than us.
Mhm.
So you need to open that line of communication to hear the other side. Like salute to him when he does POV. I want to hear what the women got to say versus what I've constantly seen in my world or what I'm constantly hearing other brothers say. I want to build, before I build a community, I need to build a family. And I have no interest building a family with the brothers. I want to build it with the sisters. So I have to hear their strengths, I have to hear their weaknesses, and I have to see if we are on the individual side, are we compatible for each other? Because where I fall short at, I expect that to be her strength and vice versa. That's how we come together. That's how we're interdependent on one another. But before we get into the ideas of building community or building a family, we need to focus on each other, and that's by opening the lines of communication.
Mm-hmm. Right. Truth, you back on the board. What's going on?
Yeah, yeah, little Shorty can't hide now, Shorty. Can't hide now. Unless you're gonna drop another one of them little lines.
I mean, if you say Baltimore the wrong way again, you never know. But
I am Baltimore. Ain't nobody up here more Baltimore than me.
Nah, if you say Baltimore the wrong way, then I'm gonna go ahead and pay for you to get break off. But you've been cool. You've been cool. No, you said it the right way. You said it the right way. I'm good with you. Hey, Superman, stop.
This my
Stop.
city. This my city.
Like I said, I'm good with you. You've been right the
Hey,
whole time, bro. I'm
That's one
on
thing everybody know
shout
right
out,
here. This is
We
my city
good.
hey,
over
We
here.
fella,
good. We
shout, hey,
good. Baltimore is Baltimore. I respect the
shout out,
city.
shout out to Baltimore. You're gonna lose next Wednesday, but shout out to Baltimore. But let's
Ravens gonna
continue
get
the
their ass
conversation.
whooped.
No. Listen, I can't pay enough to have the host of the channel kick off the air every.
Baltimore is gonna get
Oh
their
my
ass
god!
whooped.
Oh my god! You
Baltimore is
just
gonna get
said that.
their ass whooped.
Listen.
Uh
I'll give all the money back. Stop
You
that.
said I get all the money back.
Yeah, that's
No,
it.
no,
Stop
no,
that.
no.
Stop that.
Hey, I learned from another content creator. Once the money hit my account, it's mine.
Yeah.
Hey, Death Note, did you see that? Did you see that show I did on that one guy that we got caught up? Not that we caught up, but the one we investigated about the 12-year-old.
Yeah, I seen
Yeah,
it. But you
yeah,
know, I watch most of the streams from my TV, so I
yeah,
can't comment. So, but
yeah.
yeah, I
I
watch
got
all of
another
them.
one. I got another one coming, bro. Not of that caliber, but this guy's a fraud. This guy's been
You know what's
forging
messed up?
signatures, huh?
You know what's messed up?
What's that?
After that live stream, because I work in cybersecurity. After
Yeah, I
that
know.
live stream, I decided to do my own little investigation. I found a lot more, and I was like,
Mhm.
ew, that's kind of messy. If I wanted to pass that information along,
Bro, what I found on him in Jersey, and I because I was challenged to find more information on him, and I didn't want to do it because of where I had to go, but I did it anyway. And when I found out because as we was reading through the case notes, that to find out he was on probation in Jersey, when I went and looked in Jersey and I found more of his information, I'm like, bro, I'm so glad this nigga's up out of here. Unfortunately, he's in my city, and if I ever come across him, that nigga's a done deal. But this other one I got, he's not as bad because he's not of this thing like Joseph got caught with, but the forgery, the fraud checks, the fake loans and all this, that, and the other, and he be up in this space talking hella shit. But yeah, I got him. And he was talking shit today. Talking about, you ain't gonna do nothing. Okay, I got you. I do the video on you. No problem. I mean, he must not know. If people haven't figured it out yet, especially if it's public information, I don't do private. If it's public information, I got you. But anyway, we only got a few minutes left, so go ahead and y'all run it up the best way y'all can. Y'all got it.
Yeah, so let me school this man. Let me school him real quick. So let me explain something to you. Unlike the men that you're saying is
Quick.
majority of us out here, the man that you're speaking about, I am that one. So the woman that I got with, I married her. Didn't talk about marrying her. I told her I was going to marry her, and then I married her.
Mm-hmm.
She's mine. I'm taking care of her. I have acquired 2 extra daughters, praise God. So
Sharon,
now
what up?
I have 4 children that I take care of. My woman does not work. My woman and the children come on to see to my woman, my wife, to their mother. They don't have to go to daycare. They're never going to see daycare. They're not going to be going to other places where they have to be babysitted. And those
Mr.
type of
Alignment on
things.
your
So
neck.
the very things that we talk about.
Mr.
And
Alignment
talk
on your
about
neck. He said, why
how
ain't
to
you
be,
married? He said, why ain't you married the first time?
how to be, yeah, I get with him. How to be this type of person. Those type of men, they're not even acquiring women. They're not doing the very things that they're saying out of their mouth, nor are they marrying the woman. They are running around having sex with the woman before they marry them. They're creating babies. They're doing all sorts of things, yet alone not placing a ring on their finger, not getting a house with that woman, not taking care of that woman.
Let me
Those are
shorten
the
it up for
things
you.
that
Hold on,
we.
let me shorten it up for you because we ain't got that much time. So let me ask you this: are you pushing the narrative that it needs to be more black married?
No, let me get my thing off real quick. Y'all done cut
We
me.
only got
Y'all
a
done
few.
cut me
You only
off
got it. We only got a
the
few. I
bone.
mean, you got dropped. You could have brought yourself back, but shorten it up. Come on now, quick
All right,
steps.
y'all watch me. Y'all done been up here talking all day. So let me get my thing off.
I could drop you
Let me
for
get my
free.
let
Like
me get my thing
nigga,
off.
like don't get it twisted.
So yeah, no, I'm saying what I'm saying, G.
Mm-hmm.
The very thing. If you're going to talk about man, if you're going 50-50 and all this different type of stuff, don't come in here blaming the daggone woman, bro. Don't come here blaming the woman. Do not come on here saying that it's majority of men is out here doing what they're supposed to do because they not. If the majority of men was out here doing what they got to do, it wouldn't be niggas out here without fathers. They wouldn't be on here looking for Kevin Samuels, Fresh and Fit, any of these niggas for dating advice to help them get women or anything. How to be a man, how to work, how to get a job, how to take care of family. Half of these niggas ain't even outside working with their hands. So until we actually see that in mass, till we
Better scramble like an egg before you get folded like an omelet, nigga.
Ooh, that brother's floating in the air. How could his hands do this? Oh, someone get him out the air.
They done got you up out of there, Truth. I told you, wrap it up. You didn't want to listen.
Yo,
I told you they wouldn't go. They ain't playing around with you.
damn, I wish it could have been me. True.
Go ahead. Go
'Cause
ahead.
I would have
It
loved to do
depends.
it.
It depends. Go ahead. Make your move.
I
They
know.
ain't playing. They said
Yeah.
they want it quick.
Because I know you about to shut it down. My thing is, man, a lot of these dudes get on here speaking righteous, holier than thou. They in marriages still using condoms. They waited the marriage. They waited till they was married to have sex. They pay 100%. All this shit, man. All this fraudulent stuff. All these super holier than thou righteous men. We supposed to follow them. The majority of men is supposed to be sequacious. We're not supposed to have our own mindset and live how we live. We don't gotta be married,
No,
bro.
you're a
It's some
foolie, bro.
y'all need, huh?
You're a foolie, bro. But I'll let you finish.
Now I'm gonna get mine off. This is what I mean, bro. I'm able to if I'm able to, have my singular thoughts, brother.
That's
Please
why I
listen to
said
me,
I'll
man.
let you finish.
You know what I'm
Go
saying?
ahead and finish.
That's what makes like y'all need people. Y'all need bad people. Y'all need people that's engaged in debauchery, forming alliances, doing all that stuff because it make y'all look good. It make y'all be able to get on these panels and speak how y'all speak because it makes y'all feel superior.
No,
To
I
people
don't
that's
always
engaged in how
agree
they,
with
brother.
Sale and everything
I'm not
else.
making
Just
it.
finish. Finish.
This is
Make your
just. I'm just
statement.
talking right now. I'm just prattling like y'all do on these panels. I'm just prattling. You know what I mean? I may be being more verbose than I normally am, but I'm just talking. But I'm just saying at the end of the day, bro, everybody seem holier than thou. Like y'all ain't got some shit in y'all closet. Like niggas saying,
Ladies are down! Down! A break!
What up, Chris?
Nah, you fucked that up.
Chilling. What's good, man?
Man, watching this watching this go down. Just really watching this go down. I don't know what happened to a signal, but I went ahead and gave him the jets up anyway. Anywho, man, let's just call it a bean, dog. Like I don't know where we sitting at as far as this whole entire thing. Y'all gonna do what y'all want to do, but y'all love. I agree with them. They love fuckery and they need fuckery. But my thing is, y'all gonna keep promoting this shit. Then don't complain about the shit. Don't complain when the women say we don't want to deal with you niggas because the majority of these niggas is on fuck shit. Just keep it all. I'm gonna just keep it all the way as it is. So I ain't about to play around with it. You came up here with your AJ 2 times. What's that? What you got on? Is that WWE sweater?
Oh
That
yeah,
ain't.
AJ Styles.
Oh man, you don't know nothing about no AJ Styles.
That's his WWE resume right there.
2 times, 3 times. Oh yeah, the show is. That
Yeah,
show is.
that's his resume.
That show
I
is.
got and I said wore Big E's before too.
For reals.
Yeah, it's the gray one.
Nice, nice, nice. But yeah, what y'all got before we because she told me that they got like 5 minutes before she go ahead and hit live because I am redirecting everybody over to the wonderful sister. She has looked out for us, so I'm gonna look out for her because we spread the love. That's what we're supposed to do. Show support. Um, Crystal J, what you got? And then Def Note, what you got?
It's real simple. Like Cell said, you're only responsible for your actions at the end of the day. You play a part whether you help the community or whether you hinder the community. The question is, what side of the fence are you going to be on? Like, if you guys listen to Cell, you guys listen to me, you guys listen to Death Note, you guys listen to everybody. We're pretty much saying the same thing, just in three different languages. It's going to start from home. Take care of home first. And once you take care of that, that's when the community grows. Because while you're taking care of home, your neighbors is taking care of home. And then your other neighbors down the street, down the block, in another district, they're taking care of home first. And then once the family's intact and your offspring gets to grow and go start their own homes, guess what? You just created a community. Actually, excuse me, take it back. Not only did you create a community, you made it bigger and you made it better and you made it much more sufficient. So that's how you do community. I know a lot of people, it's community, legacy, it's a buzzword, e- especially financial wealth as well, which is the ultimate reason why people harp on the word community and legacy because they're trying to circulate around finances as well. I know the game. I've been doing this for a couple of years now. If you really want all this grandiose things or whatever, make sure you take care of home first. If home is fucked up, so is the community.
Preach, preach. That's a bar. Def Note, what you got, G?
Listen, finances is one of those things that people dream about, and we need
Mm-hmm.
to stop using that. We need to stop using that. Like, finances do not matter. I get it. The people that we want to be with and the lives that we think that we are accustomed to and so on and so forth, none of that matters. Let's do the favor and look at the foundational things that it means to be a man. Let's look at the foundational things that it means to be a woman. And let's go ahead and build upon that. Hey, I'm sorry, my dog is squeaking his doggy toy. But yeah. So let's look at those foundational things and build upon them. So with that being said, let's while we build on those foundational things, let's stop putting sex as far as the segs double G. Let's stop putting that on the foundation. Let's start looking at what it means to be a man in a relationship. Let's start looking at what it means to be a woman in a relationship. Let's look at what it means. If I'm 80 years old, what does it mean for me to have a successful relationship at 80 or 90 years old? I want children who are successful, who look at me for guidance and everything else. Honestly, Those kids, when I'm 80 years old, they don't give a crap about how much money I make. They don't give a crap about how good I am in bed with my wife that created them. They don't give a crap about any of that stuff. All I'm saying is that there are foundational things that we need to focus on in the Black community. And a lot of that stuff transcends sex, and everything else. So let's be better. Most of the community is looking to be better. And stop it. Most of the community is looking to be better. And we need to respect people who are looking to be better. And let's stop playing these games. All men ain't broke. All men ain't living below the poverty line. And all men ain't looking to just sleep with women just to sleep with women. Most men are like, hey, I'll do whatever needs to be done to have the woman who's willing to be essentially my accessory, my handbag, my person who accents or makes my life better. And I know in a lot of these times we put it in the perspective of millionaires and so on and so forth, where we say, hey, listen, I started work early and she made my coffee and she brought it to me and it made my life better. But there's things that you could do even in a lower tax bracket. And I've lived through every tax bracket that's out there. Whether it be making $40,000 a year, or $100,000 a year, or $4 million a year. I've lived in every tax bracket, or currently lived in many tax brackets that people want to be in. I say that there's the foundations, no matter your tax bracket, that mean more than anything. And I tell people every day to focus on the foundations, focus on what it means to be a true good person, whether it be a man or a woman. Focus on those things and everything else will fall in line.
Amen to that. All right, I appreciate y'all, fellas. I'm gonna go ahead and drop y'all down in the back. Appreciate you, Chris. Appreciate you, Def Note. Always a pleasure, my G. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all stopping by. I'm going to send y'all over to Evolution. Do me a favor. When y'all get there, make sure y'all give her a like, a share, and a subscribe. Make sure you say, hey, let her know that you came over to Cellulite Podcast. Raw is over there. So make sure y'all give a big hand clap of praise, hugs, and kisses, and all that good stuff. I will holler at y'all later. Much love and do.